Welcome to Gift of Legacy, a gifting activity creating abundance. You will hear by invitation only. A quick disclaimer, this presentation is for information sharing only and is not to be construed as financial advice. Neither myself nor Gift of Legacy are registered financial or tax advisors. The information given is only intended to give you an example of what you may expect as a participant. So by means of an introduction, just to let people know who don't know what a gifting activity is, Gift of Legacy is a gifting activity that drives the movement of monetary gifts between individuals across the world. It is a new way for communities to generate the perpetual movement of wealth between individuals. It is a change in thinking where people join together to thrive and not merely survive. We want to color the world. So what is a gifting activity all about? Well, we're going to talk about the word sacred economics to start with. Sacred economics or gifting traces back to the 1960s. It has been off the mainstream for decades and is 100% legal. In South Africa and Africa, we have a term called Ubuntu. It means communities work together, not just for financial good, but generally in helping each other. Gift of Legacy is a global gifting activity. We have got participants in over 100 countries. Uplift those communities that are engaged in our activity, and we are creating abundance and self-development through our beautiful community. Some interesting information that you would like to know about Gift of Legacy. I'm just going to go back to that slide. Is that we are blessing millions of people, sharing hope, education, and abundance to all our participants. Now, if you look at that robot, that is the Gift of Legacy system. Well, what I would like it to be seen as. It is a decentralized, interactive website that is used by people across the world to share gifts. This is not a business and it is not a company. Gift of Legacy means that the gifts are sent peer-to-peer. Participants send gifts from person to person. No money is kept by the GL system. We do not have a central bank account and nobody is holding any monetary gifts at all. The gifts that are sent perpetually. That means that the funds that are generated are ongoing, passive, and frequent. This means that you can create generational wealth. Gift of Legacy is more than just a normal gifting activity. We help each other to grow and succeed while we support each other and uplift one another. When you join, you gift from your heart, you share the love, you guide your team, you become a legend, and then you build your legacy. We are a community with the same vision. We want to change lives. So how does one start? You enter Gift of Legacy by gifting $100 to the legend on your board. You will have joined Gift of Legacy using the unique link that a friend or family member has sent to you. When you join and you open your board, you will gift the legend. It is the one and only time you will ever take money out of your own pocket. Gifting is purely peer-to-peer. 100% of all the gifts are sent directly to the legend on a board. We recommend before you start that you set up different platforms like ATM, PayPal, WorldRemit, Revolut, bank transfers, and get a grip on cryptocurrency, because this allows for the smooth and fluid transition of gifts across the world. Remember, there is no middleman or third party involved ever. All gifts are sent peer-to-peer by person to person in our community. We're going to talk about riding the boards of abundance, and you're going to see a picture of a Ferris wheel. Take note of the Ferris wheels because we'll explain their importance later. Focus on the yellow circle in the next few slides. This represents you on your journey. When you have signed up with your link, you join your board and you gift the legend on your board $100 US. You share gift of legacy with like-minded, like-hearted people who in turn will do the same. Take a look at your journey through the 4 boards with us: the $100 board, $400 board, $1,600 board, and the ultimate $5,000 board. You will start as a gifter, then a builder, then a guide, and finally, you will have a chance to be a legend. In your first cycle through the 4 boards above, you will receive gifts to the value of $42,700. And on the Perpetual cycle, you will receive gifts totaling $49,700. Let's go. On your first board that you will join, it is the bronze board. You will enter with $100. When you exit the board, you will have received $800. This is what a board looks like. When you join, you will be the gifter. You could land in any one of those 8 gifter positions, but let's assume you land here on position number 1. You will land on the board and gift the legend unconditionally $100 US. Then other gifters will join. When the legend has received 4 gifts and they have $400 in their bank account, they can use those first 4 gifts to fast track and join their silver board in advance. Then the other 4 gifters will gift them. The legend has now received 800 gifts, $800 in total. You are now going to move into the builder position because that previous board is closed and you have now moved up. There's a new legend. At this point in time, you should invite 2 gifters to join you. Let's call them A and B. The other builders will also invite people to join them on their journey through the boards. And here we go. There are more gifters joining the other builders on the other hemisphere. Again, $800 in total are received by the legend. The board splits and you now move into the guide position. You are going to assist your builders to invite their invitees. Everybody who joins Gift of Legacy needs to invite 2 people. And when it's done correctly like this, the boards will move. When either hemisphere fills, the guide will split off to become legend on their own board. This board will only complete once all 8 gifters have been accepted. Congratulations, you are now a legend on your own board. You will see that your invitees are guides on either side of you, and their invitees are the 4 builders. So as people join as new gifters, you will receive gifts. You receive 8 $100 gifts. $800 in total, but only $300 is yours to keep. Now, let's go back to that original board where you first started. Your hemisphere split off, but the other hemisphere wasn't completely full. You can now go in there and join as a gifter. You are on your bronze perpetual cycle, and you are going to assist that board to close. This means that nobody gets left behind and that there is continuous flow on the boards. So once you have finished your bronze board, you will have received $800 in gifts. You hold back $400 to join the silver board, and you hold back $100 to join your perpetual bronze board. $500 is to move on to the next boards. You get to keep $300 in your pocket. Now, on your perpetual journey, every time you join a bronze board, you will gift $100. You will receive $800 as a legend, and you get to keep $700. Why? Because you are already on the silver cycle and you don't need to gift forward. This means that you can receive over and over until infinity every time you ride the Perpetual bronze board. Now you are on the silver board. You gift $400 to the legend, and when you leave the board, you will receive gifts to the value of $3,200. When you finish that board, from that $3,200, you hold back $1,600 to join your gold board, and you hold back $400 to join your Perpetual silver board. That means that you keep gifts in your pocket to the value of $1,200. On your Perpetual journey, every time you gift $400, you will receive $3,200. But because you are already going to be on your gold cycle, you will get to keep $2,800. Look at that in terms of generational wealth. Now, on your gold board, you enter with $1,600 and you will exit with $12,800. You must keep money back. You have received $12,800, but you hold back $5,000 to join the ultimate board, the platinum board. And you are going to hold back $1,600 to join the Perpetual gold board. That means you get to keep in your pocket $6,200. On your Perpetual gold cycle, every time you enter with $1,600 and you exit with $12,800, you keep $11,200 in your pocket. It's like a Ferris wheel, going over and over, going round and round on the ride, and every time you are receiving that amount of money gifts into your pocket. Now you have reached the ultimate board, the platinum board. You are going to gift a total stranger $5,000 unconditionally from the goodness of your heart and with great excitement. When you leave the board, you will receive $40,000. And this time, you only need to hold back $5,000 from what you receive, which means you get to keep $35,000 in your pocket. You have held back $5,000 to join your Perpetual platinum board. And on your Perpetual platinum board, it's the same thing. Every time you enter with $5,000, you will exit with $40,000 and get to keep $35,000. I'm sure that could change your life. Now, if we look at that, the summary of the Perpetual journey, this is the goal for every participant in Gift of Legacy. The goal of Gift of Legacy is for everybody to be on all four boards, riding them perpetually. That is riding the boards of abundance, so that you can receive perpetual gifts at different times during the month, during the year, of these values that I've explained to you. This is the goal. Let's all work towards it. In summary, your potential gifts through the first cycle are $42,700, and on the Perpetual cycle, $49,700. The guidelines of Gift of Legacy are simple. You join by sending an unconditional gift of $100 to the legend of the board. The reason we use the US dollar is because it is the standard currency and it ensures that all our participants receive gifts to the same value. You invite two like-minded, like-hearted people to follow you on your journey. Be careful who you choose, because as you could see on the boards, as I explained, your invitees become your guides and their invitees become your builders. If you choose the right people and you work with them and you help them, your boards will move. Encourage your two invitees to do the same. This ensures the perpetual movement of the boards. Join all the boards sequentially. You must be on 100, 400, 1,600, and $5,000 boards in your first round. It is essential to join the perpetual cycle. That is the goal of Gift of Legacy. It is important for you to know that you cannot advance to the next board without 2 confirmed invitees. So what makes GL different and unique from other gifting activities? We have a user-friendly website. There's an Academy tab, which has all kinds of information with everything you need to know. There's an A to Z document with frequently asked questions. We talk of an innovative algorithm in Gift of Legacy. Gift of Legacy, the website itself, is an algorithm. There are various features which are constantly updated to ensure the sustainable movement of boards. We are a worldwide community. We have participants in over 100 countries. We have an amazing volunteer support team. They are a small group of people, but this ensures the security of the system and all of our participants. They provide assistance freely and from their hearts to our GL community. Then cross-pollination does apply. If you are unable to follow your inviter, which is the most important rule in Gift of Legacy, you are placed on other boards. FOSS tracking is available, which allows you, if you are able to color your world faster. So what is FOSS tracking? If you are on your bronze board and you would like to move ahead to silver before you have reached legend on your bronze, you need to have your 2 invitees, and then you can use $400 from your own pocket to join silver. You only need to wait an hour to be confirmed on your silver board. You can fast track to gold. And if you have $5,000 in your pocket and would like to move ahead to platinum, that is possible as well. So nobody is held back and everybody's journey is at their own speed. It is important to note, we do not promote Gift of Legacy on social media. Mainly, it's because we want to keep our community like-minded and like-hearted. There is no filling of spaces. It is important to remember the 2 by 2 by 2 guideline. The people that you invite are the people that will journey with you. Don't just fill spaces because you can.
So one of the only questions so far in the chats was basically people saying, we joined as a group, but having invited 2 people as a gifter, 2 of our group have gone on to another board. We're waiting to add more people. But then they said, can perpetual gifters come into a board like ours that has just started? The person that was legend when we entered is not entered as perpetual. So maybe he's on another board.
Thanks.
So that legend would finish on that board and go onto another board where he followed his inviter or her inviter. And then would have to go through that whole board. Then if half of your board was finished or your board wasn't finished, by the time he finished that next board, he would come back to help finish the board that you're on. Okay, but I think your board is finished because he moved off. So he doesn't come back onto the same board as perpetual. He follows his inviter. Oh, okay. And then there's another question. If one isn't able to find gifters, are they able to get their money back? What guarantees? No, it's a gifting program. But if other people on the board find gifters, you will get to legend and you will receive your 8 gifts, but you won't be able to continue.
Yeah.
It might take a very long time, but you don't get your money back until you're at legend, where you get gifted, because it is a gifting program. You're gifting unconditionally. So you're not investing, it's not a company, you're gifting peer-to-peer, which is what makes it all legal.
You know what I'm going to say, Merle? I'm not going to
Yeah.
do the rest of the presentation. I don't want to waste time. I think we went through the boards. The only thing that was really left to explain was, let me put my video back on. I do apologize. This is Africa in action, folks. More so South Africa. But the guidelines are simple. You invite 2 people, you gift unconditionally, and that's something I repeated just now in the presentation. The gift that you send is unconditional. You can't get it back because you've gifted to somebody. It's like giving somebody a box of chocolates, and then you decide a diet's not working for you and you grab the chocolates back. It doesn't happen. So you gift unconditionally. There is no central bank account, And it's very important that the people that you invite to Gift of Legacy are like-minded, like-hearted, like you, because that's going to grow your legacy. And I think that is the most important things in the rest of the presentation that needed to be explained. There's no guarantees. There are no free boards, no discounted boards. Everybody starts on the bronze board. So that was the quick quick summary of the rest of the presentation. Let's go through the rest of questions. Merle,
There aren't any other questions at the moment. So if anybody does have any other questions, if you type them in the chat, and then we can answer them for you.
Yeah. Or should I be crazy and say it's a small group of people? Should I unmute?
Unmute people, and they can, but then if people want to talk, if you can put your hand up so we can say, you know, do it one at a time.
Yeah. If you would like to talk, raise your hand, and then
the
I
next
can.
Question is compression happening soon? Yes, compression is happening soon, but we can't tell you how soon, because when they started running programs, there were some other things, some other updates that had to be done, which were vital to make sure that the program is sustainable forever. So that they then have to recode things before compression can run again. You know, we ran earlier in the year. But it will be happening soon, but we'll let you know when. Right, Rebecca? You can unmute yourself.
I've asked Rebecca to unmute. You need to unmute yourself, Rebecca. Hi, Rebecca. Okay, while waiting for Rebecca, I'm going to answer Sinatemba's question. So Sinatemba, you asked when Gift of Legacy was formed. Gift of Legacy launched on the 10th of January 2022. So it was last year. We are now 18 months old. The reason it was formed is that a group of South Africans had been introduced to another gifting activity in 2021. And lots of South Africans and people across the world joined. But then we found out that although on the website it said Americans only, they welcomed us into their community. But then all of a sudden they wanted to be exclusively American, and they were going to shut down everyone's profile. So a group of people got together and decided to form Gift of Legacy, and Gift of Legacy was launched by who we call our co-creators or our core leaders. In January last year, and Gift of Legacy has just grown incredibly in that amount of time, and lots of developments have happened, and Gift of Legacy is going strong, and it's doing well, and it's blessing people across the world. Rebecca, are you with us? I think she's dropped off.
I don't see you, Rebecca. I think she's dropped off the call.
Anybody else would like to say anything or ask a question?
There is another question, and it doesn't really make sense. So maybe Anthony can explain what you're asking, because it says time frame joining your second and thereafter. So do you want to unmute yourself, Anthony, to ask, or would you rather type for us?
Yeah. When
Perfect.
you join, how long after you join can you add your two invites?
We suggest that people join the invitees when they are in builder position, because that just makes the boards work the way they should. But we also know that sometimes if you wait until you're in builder position, your invitees lose enthusiasm. So as soon as you can, share your invite link. It might mean that they join as a gifter next to you, but that's not a bad thing. It means the board's going to move, and on your perpetual cycle, they will follow you. The number one rule, the most important rule in Gift of Legacy, is you follow your inviter. So sometimes you need to invite people as quickly as you can to fill up a board and move it, because all empty spaces will get filled up, and that's the best time. You have until the legend position to invite your 2 people on your initial bronze board. If you do not have 2 confirmed invitees, when you are legend on your bronze board, you will still receive your 800 gifts. The reason for that, your $800 gifts, the reason for that is that everybody is entitled to receive their gifts. That's why they join. And if a person was not able to receive their gifts, we would be a Ponzi. Okay. So everybody who joins, gets to legend, receives $800. But if they do not have 2 confirmed invitees, they are unable to join their perpetual bronze, and they are unable to join their silver cycle. So that means they've received their gifts, they've got their $300. Well, they'll actually have $800, and they can only progress if they then invite 2 people. They have access to the website, but they can't open their boards until they've invited people. So they can generate a link and share it, but they can't open boards. I hope that answers your question, Anthony.
Yes, thank you. It does. That's what I
Okay.
wanted to know. Thanks.
So
It's
the
a
next
pleasure.
question says, so if we are a little stuck on the boards, the only way to move on is to find the 2 people to gift, or is there some outside help? If so, can we ask for it, or does the algorithm decide? No, you can't ask for outside help, because asking for outside help would mean that somebody else has to find gifters for you. So the algorithm only works on that you follow. So when you go onto perpetual boards, as you finish your board, the person you invited finishes, they follow you. And that's how you go through the perpetual boards. But your initial board, either you or your team on the board, so everybody on that board needs to fill those spaces for that board to move.
Yep.
Okay.
If you're really stuck on a board, and we don't like that word stuck, but if you're on a board that's not moving, if you're on one hemisphere and you've got one empty gap and you share your link, depends what position you're in, because the board placement is very important, but there's a chance that that position can fill up. But you might invite somebody, and then they can come back on the other side as well. So it really just depends on board placement. An algorithm essentially is just a computer code that takes data and decides what to do with it. So it's like, if this happens, then this happens. If this happens, then that happens. And there are many rules that the algorithm follows as to board placement on boards. But nobody's going to come and magically move your board. You need to dig deep and understand what your why is, why you joined Gift of Legacy. What is it that you would like to achieve? Who is it that you would like to bless? What is it that you would like to do with the gifts? And do whatever you can. Merle and I spend a lot of time behind the scenes helping in Gift of Legacy, as do many other people who do a phenomenal amount of work. And the reason we do it is we believe in Gift of Legacy. We're passionate about it. We're here to help the community. And we believe that helping people and encouraging people, hosting Zoom calls like this, is a way to keep the energy focused where it needs to go. And just do something, even if it's just thinking about Gift of Legacy, if it's just mentioning it or finding an analogy in your life that corresponds with Gift of Legacy. Do something to change the status quo in your own thinking. And who knows, it might change the status quo on your boards. Any other questions?
I don't see any others in the chat. Does anybody want to talk? Deb, do you want to talk?
I knew you were going to ask.
But she's smiling.
He's smiling so beautifully. We love you so much, Deb.
Oh, come on, Dave.
You know, I have been in this with Cans. Cans and I have been in the gifting community for a good couple of years now. We've been through so much, and this is just beyond anything I could have imagined. And I think one of the most important things that has come through this for me is trust. Trust in the system, trust in your admin, This is not a race. This is not a competition. Just do it from your heart. It's the only place to do it from. This is gifting at its finest. And I can tell you all now that if it was not for this community during COVID or just after COVID, I would not be sitting here telling this story.
Yeah.
I don't know where I would be. So my gratitude is enormous. And when I get to gift somebody, that is bigger for me than anything else. It is so exciting because I know that feeling, and we're not always open and receptive to receiving. So it has been a lesson for me also to open up my heart, open up everything and receive. You know, one of the girls a few years ago turned around and said, but Deb, if I could bring you a bag of potatoes, and she was in England, if I could bring you a sack of potatoes, I would, but I can do this. So it's about connecting, and the amount of people that we've met, both Candace and myself, is just beyond ridiculous. Beyond. I mean, all of you, Merle, Adele, there's so many, and just it's a blessing. It's an absolute blessing, and I'm very proud to be a GL girl. I really am. Well, a
Deb,
GL
can
woman.
I ask you a personal question?
Yes.
But it's a GL personal question. It's not that personal. What's the highest board that you're on? What's the biggest gift you've received?
I've received silvers, all silvers.
Okay, so you're on your gold?
On another platform, I received up into gold. It would have
Okay,
been
no, we're not
gold.
talking
Deb
about
is
other
on a gold
platforms.
board with me. We both gifters on a gold board.
So you
I'm on a
gifters on
gold
gold.
board now.
Okay.
I'm a
All right.
gifter. Yeah, I'm a gifter on a gold board now. And you know what? I don't have a fixed point of view about when I'm going to get a gift or whatever. I just check in every day. I go onto my board. I say good morning to everybody that we're just waiting for 4 gifts, and I know about compression and everything. And it's fine. I just keep it bright and joyful and kindness.
Kindness. Merle, you're a builder, gifter on gold.
I'm a legend on one gold board and a
Okay.
gifter on another.
Okay. All right. I'm a legend on gold. I have received 4 gold gifts, and I have 4 more to receive. And the reason I asked that question is so that people on the call, and those of you who watch the recording, some people say it's only those who started in the beginning, it's only the leaders, and they put us in that category. And they say these are the only people receiving gifts. No, because there are people. There's somebody who shared on Telegram that, I think about a month or 2 ago, they joined Gift of Legacy in February and they were receiving on platinum. I mean, wow.
We're not there, and we aren't there.
I joined Gift of Legacy 3 minutes after 9 p.m. on the 10th of January 2022, and I'm still there, and I haven't got to platinum. And there are people in leadership. There's one of our core leaders who has not received a platinum gift yet. That core leader is on a platinum board and has not received a platinum gift. So it's not those who came in first.
No,
it's
anyone.
Anybody has a chance, and you don't know who are going to be the other people on your board, especially on perpetual boards.
Yeah,
you don't know. We do follow our inviters, but because of the way the system started with 7,000 odd people who are already in the system, many of us are not generically following our people, and we are mixed up. And so we get to meet lots of different people in the community. There are people who've joined more recently who are following that 2 by 2 by 2, and they're just moving along like a train, and everyone's following everyone. But we're all going to get there. That's why I say it's the ultimate board. Platinum is the ultimate. I can't wait. I can't wait to land on that board and click legend and see who this person is and message them. Anybody else who would like to tell us? Maybe we've got some platinum people on the call. In fact, I'm sure we do. I'm going to see who's on the call, because I'm going to try and guess who might be a platinum.
I just think the biggest thing is to trust and Just keep
Trust.
feeding your boards with love, you know. It's a
That's-
gifting community. It's a
Yeah.
gifting community, you know. That's what it is.
Absolutely. It's not an investment, it's a gift.
No.
Yeah.
I mean,
And
I know
people,
that like we can go all over the world, you know, the ones who have been in it for a while, and we could find people in every country and go, oh my God, you know, let's have a cup of tea. It's too marvelous, actually. You
It
think about
is-
it. Your
it's-
world opens up like this, like big time.
It really, really does.
Absolutely.
People often ask us on Telegram, maybe we can pick our brains for those things, Mel. But people often ask us on Telegram that very question, if I don't want to be in Gift of Legacy anymore, can I get my money back? Can I sell my account? First of all, it's not an account. We have a profile. And no, you can't sell it because nobody's buying anything. But you can gift it to somebody and you can change ownership, and then you just contact support for that. But your unconditional $100 when you join is that unconditional. And yes, you might have gifted other people, but you would have had to have received before you gifted, unless you'd fast tracked. But then you made that decision to unconditionally gift people on higher boards. Should I let
And
Eddie
then,
speak?
Adele, one of the other things we have all the time is, what do we do if there's no legend and we've got gifters? So you've got
Yes.
gifters and there's no legend. Invite your gifters onto the board. As soon as your gifters are on the board, you then email support with urgent in the subject line, and you say urgent gifters, you know, no legend. And you actually put that in the subject line. And what will happen then is that we'll give you a GGM legend. And the reason you're going to get a GGM legend is perhaps 2 gifts have already been gifted. And now they can't allow, because people always, that's the next question. Why can't the guide trickle up to legend if the legend drops out? The legend drops out and the guide trickles up and the person's already had, say, 3 gifts. Then the legend is not going to get enough gifts to go on to silver and back onto bronze. And that is why GGM goes there. They don't carry on. They take the gifts and they're not taking them for themselves. They take the gifts. When they're finished, that board is complete, that profile drops away. What GGM does with the gifts, and that's something else we ask all the time, it's not fair. GGM is making so much money. No, GGM is not making so much money. In fact, GGM needs more money. So if you feel like donating, it will be amazing to donate, because the system has huge costs associated with keeping it going. So everyone's asking about compression. Well, compression needs a computer programmer, needs the developers who have to program. It costs millions of rands, thousands of dollars, yeah.
Yep.
And that comes from those positions. Now, when GGM has not been receiving because everybody slows down, and what was happening is people were landing on GGM boards and not gifting because they felt that that money shouldn't go to GGM. What they didn't understand is that if the money doesn't go to GGM, our service has to be paid for. So without service being paid for, without the programming being paid for, the support team get nothing. So all of us in support do it as volunteers. So we're not paid positions, none of us. We get nothing for that. But the costs are the developer, the programmer,
And the
keep
server,
everything running.
the servers,
server.
that-
No, I did say the service.
yeah, the servers.
It's all the technical stuff. So that is where that money goes to. It goes to keeping the system going. Without the system, there is no gift of legacy.
And I think what's important to say is people will say, yes, but if there's been no gifters and the legend hasn't received anything, why can't the guide move up? Because we can't have one rule for one board and one for another. It has to be a unilateral rule, because the coding involved in making one specific code for one board that's had one gifter, one that's had no gifters, there's just not money for that coding. Maybe in time, yes, but right now it's going to be a unilateral rule. No legend, GGM is curator, board closes, guides make their own board. That's the way. So whether you've had no gifts or you've had 2 gifts, empty legends are replaced by GGM. Let's let Eddie have a say. Eddie, 2 minutes.
Adele, good
Edie.
evening. Ella, how's it,
That's
Dave? How's it,
Good.
fine.
Elsie?
Hi, Edie.
How's it, Mo? Great to see you girls here. Yeah, I've been
Nice to
spoken
see you,
for,
Eddie.
but I'm watching the background. Yes, absolutely. The 2x2 does work, but it's just a matter of being consistent and persistent. I am on the gold board and waiting my turn. Whatever must be will be, but nothing will happen if you don't make something happen. And that's all about talking to people. But I just thought I'd share that with you, with the couple of newbies that are here as well, just to understand, as you rightfully said, this is not a race, it's a marathon, and it's not a running marathon. It's about meeting people, connecting, respectfully connecting, and obviously with love and kindness. That's all I'd like to share. But thanks for the opportunity, appreciate it. Keep
Thanks,
warm,
Eddie.
take care, have
Thank
fun.
you.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Bye now.
Thanks, Ed.
Yeah, absolutely. Kindness is probably the thing the world needs the most at the moment. And we're able to provide that through Gift of Legacy, right?
Absolutely. Are there any other questions or anybody else who would like to talk? I see the numbers are going down, so obviously
Yeah.
we've answered all the questions.
People are getting cold. Well, then we're going to end our call for tonight. Next week, Tuesday night, join in again. We are going to be sharing some more interesting information. We're not sure exactly what it is yet, but it's going to be interesting. And then we'll have the worldwide Zoom the week after. We would love you to invite more people to join the English Zoom. We're giving up our time and our hearts to be here for the community that requested it. And so we would really like to have people on the calls. We understand load shedding happens, but yeah, even though we weren't able to do a full presentation tonight, we were able to meet and discuss things. And I think that's special and beautiful. And we need this as an English community. So speak to your teams, to your groups, to your people, your tribes, whatever you call them, speak to them. And when we do this again next month, please, let's have people on the call so that we can chat
Yes,
with them
because
and with
next
you.
week is next month.
Yes, but next week's interesting information.
Yes, we know that.
Awesome. Well, thank you, everybody.
Thanks,
so
everybody.
much.
Bye,
Thanks,
everyone.
Adele.
Bye.
Thanks, Merle.
Bye,
Thanks,
everybody.
Eddie.
Bye-bye.
Love you all.
Bye.
Bye. Bye.
So, keep on,
Bye.
keep on. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.